Hello everyone, I'm Karthik Erasthogi and I have recently completed one more project, and this project was a freelance project in order to create a prediction model, four different prediction models, in order to judge whether there is a requirement for new schools to be built in an area or not. So let me first of all show you the data set that we were given. So here is the data set. This was the data set that we were given in the original format, right? And this is the school subset where there was region, districts and mahalas. These were the hierarchical, like in each region there is different districts, and then different districts there are each mahalas that are there. Then we had the capacity. So this is the capacity of schools, that the schools can take in this much students at one time, and these are the shifts, like for this is the capacity for each shift. So it means that if there are two shifts, there is a capacity of 1200 students that are there. There's a total number of boys and girls in that school. Then there is if we have water and hand washing facilities, do we have or not? What is the availability of drinking water? Yes, we have. Yes, we have. Then there is how much far away the transport stop is. So it is 200. There is no transport stop, no transport stop. So these kind of values were there. Then there is infrastructure of your school. Then there is whether there is a proper infrastructure or not, and this is the state of school, like whether the students are satisfied or unsatisfied, or there is one more value that is extremely dissatisfied. So these were the values that we were having, and based upon these values we had to perform a school data analysis. So there is another one here. There is the district names. These are the district names in Uzbekistan language, and then there is Russian language, then there is English, and here are the number of in millions. There is the number of population each year, right? And like this is the year by year population that we were having. So I cleaned this data set in Excel only. I used Power Query to perform the like the data cleaning and transformation. So this was the cleaned data set that we came up with using Power Query. Then there is the population, and in this district values, these were the common values that we were having in these two tables that were there. I had to perform a lot, like I had to give a lot of time to this column, because I had to match each and every name with the other name that was there, because the spelling mistakes were there. So I used some Excel queries to perform that. I used some Excel formulas as well, but finally we were able to do that. Now moving on to the coding part. Once the data was cleaned, like not properly, but yeah, the basic cleaning and transformation was done. I loaded the data set in Python only, using pandas, numpy, plotly, matplotlib, seaborn, and the scikit-learn. I created the complete project. I performed all the exploratory data analysis. You will be able to find this source code in my GitHub page, and you will be able to go through with all of these things. I used some visualization chart. So we were not given the dependent variable. It is a supervised learning. So how we created the dependent variable, we performed the analysis, and we came up with like how we are going to judge whether there is a requirement of school or not. So majorly based on the capacity, like whether they are having enough capacity or not. So we estimated let me show you with the population census, we estimated what is going to be the growth rate of the population first of all, and after 5 years what is the population of the students that is going to be after 5 years, right? So based upon that we created this. So here is that. So this is the growth rate, like this is the year by year growth rate, percentage growth rate that we are having. So we estimated after 5 years. See, so after 5 years how much is the population going to be. So we use this estimation in order to predict what is the population or student population that is going to be after 5 years, and we used that data to match with our capacity and to calculate whether there is a surplus capacity in schools or there is a deficit. So the deficit doesn't only depend on the number of students, on the population only. We were having these values, unsatisfied and extremely dissatisfied values, where there is no drinking water, where there is no hand washing, there is no infrastructure. So for each pointers, for each variable, we increased the deficiency. We gave these values some weightage. let's suppose if there is no infrastructure, right, we increased the deficiency by 20%. Right, if there is no drinking water, we increased it by 10%. If there is no transport stop or more than 800, then there is 10% efficiency is going to increase. So based upon that, we created our adjusted deficit. And once the adjusted deficit was created, right, we divided our urgency requirement into three categories, that is red, yellow and green. So if the among the total efficiency of the district, because we were doing this in mahalas right now, but we had to do it as district wise. So in each district, if there is the deficiency is more than 10%, is coming up to be more than 10% from the total deficiency, so it is going to be in the red category, which means there is the most requirement. Then there is yellow category if the deficiency is more than 5% but less than 10%. Then there is green. So if the deficiency is less than 5%, then it is going to be in the green state. Right. So this is after the analysis and the dependent variable was completed, we moved on to create these visuals so as we can study how the data is performing, and we were able to check out all of these things, and we were able to work with these values, and based upon that I created my prediction model. I gave the weightage and everything, which you will be able to move forward with later on when we had to perform the analysis. Let me just show you in the Notion that I'm having. Yeah. So once the analysis, the exploratory data analysis was completed, I started working on the prediction models that I had to create, and based upon that I gave each and everything a value, and I took 4 models. That is, first of all was logistics regression. I took these values, these columns were taken, I embedded them, I encoded the categorical variables into numerical variables. Then I checked what is the weightage that each and every model is giving to each value, whether it is coming up to be right or not, whether it is making sense or not. So based upon that, I performed the analysis, I performed the prediction models, different prediction models. Then there is decision tree. So these were the weightage that were given by decision tree, because it was just only giving weightage to 2 main things, that is the adjusted deficit of total students, which is not what we want. That is why we didn't took this model as the final result. Then we moved on to random forest. Now here in random forest, the accuracy was quite good, and it is coming up to be, as you can see, it is giving making the weightage that it is giving, it makes sense. It is giving each and every weightage to different values that were there as we want them to be. Right. So this is the confusion matrix. As we can see, it was 100% on the train set, and on the test set it was pretty good as well, approx 98%. Yeah. Then there was naive Bayes as well, which was 85% approx. So here this is the overall model accuracy comparison that we were having. And if I talk about like how I handle with the client, first of all, when the data set and the problem statement was given to me, I performed this, I created this presentation in order to, first of all, I studied what is the project is going to be, what is the data set, what all things I will be required to perform on this analysis. So I just noted it down, I presented it to the client so that he can have an understanding and I can also have an understanding as per his requirements. Then there is the Python, like all the deliverables I told him. Then there is the approach towards a solution. This is the flow chart that I created. Here it is, that how the project is going to flow, right? What all is going to be there, right? So these you can go through with this thing. You will be able to easily go through with each and every step that I have performed, because I tried to keep it very detailed and I have provided each and every documentation that I could into these things, right? So this is the approach that I followed while creating, right? What is the dependent variable and like these kind of things. There were few questions as well. I also added this one thing, that how these models can be improved. I have written all of those things, what additional data we can look for in order to perform the better analysis, better prediction, right? So this was all about the project, and I have also created one small minimal dashboard that I created for the client itself. So here is the dashboard. This dashboard was just to show that how like it is going to be presented, right? How we can just check what values are coming up to be and how they are coming up to be. So these districts were these are the districts names that were there, and they were in green, as you can see here in the tooltip. So, and here these are the yellow districts that are there, and these are the red districts. So here we will be able to see. Then there was the, what is the total capacity versus adjusted deficit, and the capacity over the years, well, how the capacity was increasing year by year, right? So these you can go through with all of these things, and just let me know if you find this project really good for yourself. And this is the main notion that I will be sharing with you all, so that you can go through with this project, and I hope you all are going to like it. So just let me know if how I can improve this project, and see you in the next video.